Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for November 10th. We're going to first take a look at the US-Japanese yen pair. I'm expecting this pair to move as high as 122 on the high side, on the lower side 96.66. Now I am expecting us to hit some resistance if we do move higher around 98.68 and find some support around 97.30. Now this particular pair did gap up on the open, as you can see from the previous Friday's close, and the odds are with us on this, and it did occur. The gap was filled. Switching over to the Euro USD pair, this pair continues to consolidate down. I am expecting it to move somewhere between 1.3014 on the high side and on the lower side 12600. Now look for some resistance if this pair moves higher around 12800, and as far as support goes, look for 12717. This pair also gapped up on the open, and it did fill that gap before the close of this session. Now I am looking for a breakout in this pair. We've talked about this before. If you draw a trend line, hopefully a little bit straighter than mine, you will see that this pair is definitely consolidating down, and we could have a breakout at any time. Basically, we're looking for this pair to break out to the downside. Sorry about that. Hang on one second. Looking for it to break out to the upside or the downside. We have some targets here that we're looking at, some breakout targets as well. If this pair moves lower, you can look for a breakout. Looks like somewhere around the 12700 area, probably a little bit below that. If you draw your trend lines and look at where that hits, you'll get a better view than just me drawing it. But around, if it is around the 1.2700 area, I would at that point go ahead and try to get into the trade a little bit lower. You don't want to be getting into the trade and have it bounce off that. So around the 1.2694 area maybe, and look for it to go down to around the 1.2520. Now if it moves higher and we get a break somewhere around the 1.2970 area, look for it to break out, I would say, to this point first, which is around the 1.3120 area. If we get a break through that, that'd be a good place to adjust your stop to break even, possibly even take some profits off the table, especially if you go in with more than one lot. You can take some of it off, take half your position off, bring the other one to break even, and then look for it to move to this point around the 132.70 area. That's what I'm looking at for the next session. Now let's take a look at the pound US dollar pair. This pair I'm expecting to move between 159.91 on the lower side, 154.11. Now look for some resistance around 15800 and look for some support around 155.50 area. This pair also gapped up. It gapped up 145 pips up, and it retraced to fill the gap, and pretty much is bounced off this support that we have in the market. This is another little trade you could look for. Look for a break of this particular low, and look for it to break down. Look for this as a target, this low, then this one, and of course this one for that particular trade. If you're looking for just a quick little scalp, you could take these two session lows, take this low, and scalp that for that little area in between there. Now let's take a look at the US Swiss. This particular pair gapped down on the open, retraced, closed up, pretty much moving sideways for the most part. I am expecting it to move between 118.85 on the high side, on the lower side 116.42. Look for some resistance around 11800. We've hit that resistance area several times and pulled back from it. And also look for some support around 1.1700. If we get a good break above this particular session's high, we could see it go higher up to around this point, around the 118.85. So the market's been moving sideways on the four major pairs to a large degree, have a lot of consolidation, and you take a look at them, pick which trade you want to take, and go ahead and set up your stop loss and take profits, and then when it hits, pull the trigger. Well, we have the pound total trade balance for September being released tomorrow at 4:30 a.m. The consensus is that it has dropped from negative 4.737 billion pounds to negative 4.700 billion pounds. So this particular news announcement, the trade balance, can move the market if the numbers come out outside the expected range. I don't necessarily know if this will be the case with this one, but it has the potential to move the market. So if you're sitting in front of your computer at 4:30 a.m. Eastern Time, it's worth taking a note. Well, that about does it for today. Until tomorrow, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.